Welcome to the Entre Podcast. This is your host, Michael Marra. I'm the CEO of Entre, a new professional network that we built to help you connect with new people and learn from industry experts. On this show, we interview the top CEOs, founders, investors, and creators from all over the world to have meaningful conversations about entrepreneurship and life. I hope you enjoy the show. But without further ado, let's get into it. I'm going to do a quick chat with my good friend here, David Meltzer, the legend himself.
Thank you.
All right, so I want to kick things off. We were here earlier, right, talking about a ton of stuff. And I've known you now for, 8 years, 7 or 8 years?
Started, yeah.
And it's so funny because one of my first events that I ever went to, I reached out to Dave because I knew he was going to be in New York at the time, and I was like, can you come and speak at my event? And I just kind of shot my shot. And he had, 300,000 followers at this time, and now you're over 1 million, and it's been insane. But I want to talk about, I know everyone's heard business advice and how do you raise money and all this stuff, but I want to talk about taking opportunities, when they come. And I know you've taken a lot of opportunities, and I know you've probably missed out on some opportunities too.
Yeah.
So if you want to speak to that.
That's a great question. I would, because, for me, I believe life's full of options, opportunities, and touches of favor. And in order to believe that, there's two things first you have to believe in, and one is wisdom. And one of the things early on, if you don't know my story, I made over $100 million, was running Leigh Steinberg Sports Entertainment, the sports agency. They had done the movie Jerry Maguire about our firm, and I lost everything. And had to restart 18 years ago, figure out who I was and what I wanted to become, because I had lost that direction. And so understanding that in the aspect of giving lies all the options, opportunities, and touches of favor. So most people think, and this is effort, money, value, emotion, all the different things that you can give in your human experience. So most people believe the more I give, the more I'm going to receive. And there's a lot that goes on in between there. So first, the idea of giving more, a lot of people lie to themselves. There's a lot of what I call extra milers in the entrepreneurial world. They go the extra mile every once in a while, and then they use that to justify why they are not where they want to be. And so if you look in sports and business especially, it's the empty milers that are successful, the people that do it every day, 7 days a week, in a harmonious way. You don't have to do it every day, all day long, but if you're not spending a minimum amount of time every day intentionally on your business as an entrepreneur, you're losing the energetic characteristics of business, which is one, if you do something every day intentionally. I'm the chairman of Napoleon Hill Institute, so if you hear a little bit of Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, Outwitting the Devil, that's intentional. But if you are intentional every day, 2 minutes a day is worth 2 hours on a Saturday. And so the consistent, persistent pursuit of what you desire will create these options, opportunities, and touches of favor. So you give more, and then you're actually given more. You don't receive it. There's a difference. So every Bible, every spiritual text, philosophy, theoretical text that I've studied, it says the more you give, the more you're given. It takes an intention to see what you're given, because there's one thing I know about entrepreneurship and about life. Things happen very slowly, then all of a sudden. So most entrepreneurs are looking at the outcomes each day. And if you look at the outcomes each day and a trajectory of where you think you want to be or better, there's going to be no evidence that you're going to get there. In fact, most of the evidence will be contrary always to thinking you're going to get there. So we have to concentrate on this intentional given side of things by looking at are our behaviors today aligned with where we want to be. Then that will get us there. Then the biggest part, I think, and problem that I had and other entrepreneurs have is a lot of people see the options, opportunities, and touches of favor that they're given, even though there's no evidence or the evidence is contrary to where they want to be, but somehow they don't receive it. They're either afraid to receive it, they feel guilty, resentful, they feel unworthy, and so many options and opportunities and touches of favor are offered all the time, and people don't receive them. This is true about people with help as well. people ask me, how the hell do you lose over $100 million when you have a law degree, a business degree, run the most notable sports agency in the world? You're the guy that's supposed to be able to keep his money. I didn't have to ask for help. I knew all that I was given. I always felt grateful and blessed, but I wouldn't ask for help. I wouldn't receive help. I didn't need anybody's help. I wish I had people like Fidelity around or Silicon Valley Bank that I could have said, hey man, I have a $40 million line of credit, and they just pulled it from me because the bank, my private bank, was going under. I had no idea the bank could even do that to me. Changes your life quickly. But here's the kicker on the options, opportunities, and touches of favor. When you give more, you'll have more opportunities than ever. If you receive them intentionally, you then can ask for more or ask for help. So for me, it's not just the wisdom that you're seeking, because the fastest way to get to where you want to be is to find someone that's already there, like Fidelity, like Silicon Valley Bank, to give you directions. Why pay the dummy tax? Like me? Seriously. Everybody in California is worried about taxes. I'm like, what about the dummy tax? I lost everything and almost lost everything I was going to make. I don't care about 52% taxes. You know, $100 million is a lot to lose being a dummy if I just would have asked. And so the philosophy I have about options, opportunities, and touches of favor is give them to someone, because not only is it the fastest way to get to where you want to be when you ask for help, but find someone to help get to where they want to be. That's how you get to where you want to be. It's knowing your who. So you know your what, obviously, as entrepreneurs, but knowing your who can help you and who you can help. Now you're able to take advantage of what the universe has, or God has given you, an infinite amount of protection, promotion, love, and perfection, opportunities, touches of favor. This is what all great entrepreneurs, I do tons of TV, movies, podcasts. I get to be around the biggest billionaires, millionaires, entrepreneurs, celebrities, athletes, and entertainers. All of them have the protection, promotion, love, and perfection mindset, which attributes to what? The one key component of success, the desire that you must be what you can be. And so I think it's not a matter of all these options. It's a matter of actually asking for help and helping other people.
Love it. This music's getting me kind of hyped up right now.
Yeah.
That was like perfect timing as you're like finishing your...
At least they're not putting the Dave Meltzer video up there.
I was like, no, this is great. Oh, yeah.
Maybe they will.
So I want to talk about, network. It kind of leads into like networking, why we're all here, right? We all want to meet people that can help impact our lives. And I've met so many amazing people through you. I've met Ike, who's amazing founder himself. If you guys have not had the sandwiches in the back, it's because of this guy right here. Ike's Lovin' Sandwiches, now at 136 locations. So appreciate you for bringing those, and always great to connect with you. And there's always amazing people every time I'm around you and building out your network, and it's something that I try to do really well, and why we're all here is to meet people and have fun and build connections and relationships. So how, I know, obviously it's a lot of give first mentality, building relationships and stuff too, but from the most successful people that you've seen, how big is the relationships, and how are they building those impactful relationships, right? How have you done it yourself with some of these billionaires that you've worked with, or that celebrities that you've had on your podcast?
Yeah, so think about it in the realm of community instead of networking. So you want to build your own community based off of 3 criteria. 1, relativity. So I want to build a community of relative people, and I want to surround myself with the most relative people to where I want to be, my divine direction. And that could include, in your divine direction, your health, your family, all the really important things that I make non-negotiable. And I can get into that if you want. But more importantly, I'm constantly thinking, is my community representative of those that I want to be relative to? 2, association. So association is really important. So I'm looking to see, what association do I have with these people, mentally, physically, spiritually, business-wise, et cetera. And I'm constantly evaluating this community I have. In fact, my new book, which comes out in Super Bowl, is called Don't Do Business with Dicks. And it's based off of all these lessons. I just used a catchy title because Connected to Goodness did not stop anybody at the airport. But I guarantee Don't Do Business with Dicks will. So I finally learned marketing of books too. The third thing is really interesting in community, and the aspect is about what feeds us. And I used to say, hey, if it feeds you, feed it. If it bleeds you, fire it. But the problem was I wasn't explaining the feeding process, especially as entrepreneurs, as parents. So when you're building a community, you want to align people with this idea of relativity association, but we want to feed each other. But feeding each other doesn't necessarily mean that everybody's feeding each other. Some people feed you by bleeding you. So if anyone's ever had an elder parent like me, my mom later, before she passed, bled me a tremendous amount, but nothing fed me more. If anyone has children, you're lying if your kids don't bleed you, but nothing will feed you more. By the way, too, I tell people the key to being an entrepreneur is learning to love what you don't like or love about what you love, because most people love what they're doing when they're entrepreneurs or they wouldn't do it. But you got to learn to love what you don't like or love. If you want to practice, get married or have kids. Because, I always love people, oh, I love my kids. I'm like, yeah, I love my kids too. But I do not like or love everything about. Like, I have 3 daughters. I do not like or love anything about their boyfriends. So here's the idea of community, and I think it's the formula to all success. All billionaires that I meet have these extraordinary communities that do 2 things. They buy from them and sell for them for life. And so I'm looking for people that want to help each other and know people that help each other. Especially today with social connections that we have are far greater than when I was a young guy and say, Dad, do you know someone that can help me? And he's like, I got to force them at the country club or the church group or 6 people, thanks bro. And most of them do exactly what you do. That's not today. But you can, if you are surrounding yourself with people that want to help you and know people that help you, you don't know where you can get to. And so my message, mission, and my mess is around, hey, are you someone that we can buy from each other and sell for each other for life? Your great grandkids will never starve if you have a community of people that are buying from you and selling for you for life. And you don't have to worry about what you're selling. Product, services, solutions, or brands. I've switched throughout, and my primary focus, my mission to empower over 1 billion people is based off of a community of people that want to help each other. And I have switched from having one of the world's largest global sports marketing company, COVID hit, no Super Bowl, Pro Bowl, Masters, Kentucky Derby, Breeders' Cup, ESPYs, Emmys, Oscars, or Grammys, millions of dollars of deposit, including a whole year here for my 10-year lease. And I just pivoted to my community and said, hey, it's now Dave Meltzer Media Company, come to my podcast, And I asked Gary Vee for help because I was helping him with his sports agency, and I had a radio show, and all of a sudden, all these people showed up to help me, and I could help them. And my brand grew exponentially during a time when I thought I was going to go bankrupt again, and ended up being the best economic start again. So
yeah,
hopefully that answers the question. I like to get into details.
For sure, 100%.
Make your job easy.
Exactly. No, I think you brought up a couple of things there. One, there also is a copy for pretty much everyone connected to goodness on the back there, or you'll find it at the table. So grab that. And then he has another book coming out soon, Don't Do Business with Dicks.
Super Bowl.
So we're going to be pre-ordering a bunch of those. We're gonna give them out to people in our community too. So if you want a copy of that, find me. I'll put you on the list, and we'll send one out when those are live too, for sure. And so real quick, I know there's a lot of founders here. Obviously, money's important for founders. You've raised a ton of money. You've also invested in companies too.
Still do.
So what is something that you're looking for from a company? If you have any practical, tactical advice for a founder that's going out to raise. Most of the founders in here have at least raised some money, but they're trying to take that next step, right? Go from raising a couple million or 1 million to 5, 10, 25, sure. 50, 100 million.
Well, first of all, I do have, if you're raising up to 5 million, I have the #1 show on Cheddar called Go Fund Yourself. So it's a Reg CF, really easy way, especially if you have an emotional type of pitch to get a lot of money from a lot of people and get awareness to your product and service. And I'd be happy to accept any of you if you're looking for that type of funding. But what's interesting about funding is a lot of founders don't know their own timing and risk tolerance. And so for me as an investor, I want to see what your timing and risk tolerance is according to the subject matter product, solution, or service you want me to invest in. After I understand your timing and risk tolerance, I want to see, do you have a desire that you must be what you can be? I won't invest in a founder that can't prove to me in some way that they're not going to quit. They just have to have that desire, because that statistically, if they know their timing and risk tolerance and is aligned with mine as an investor, and they have a desire that they must be what they can be, I have enough relationships experience to go ahead and assist that person. And look, Ike is a good example. Ike's been at it, we've known each other a long time. I was joking around, we'd see each other like every other month, and he's like, oh yeah, I opened my 5th store. Now he went from, like, last time I saw him it was 112, now it's 136. Things happen very slowly and all of a sudden. But this guy has more desire than Steve Young, Warren Moon, and Troy Aikman combined, 3 of my best quarterbacks at Leigh's. And that's why he's successful. And now recently just took another $1 million from Guy Fieri, right? So now you're talking about strategic investment that'll take that business. But the only reason he does it, he's very clear the whole time on his own timing and risk tolerance, and he has the desire that he must be what he can be.